It's game week, Jet fans. New York Jets, Pittsburgh Steelers this Friday night at 7 o'clock. Plus, we've got practice returning today. And could the New York Jets strike a trade with the Minnesota Vikings for J.J. McCarthy? That's what one insider has suggested. We'll talk about it. Boy Green Daily starts now.
Oh my gosh, it's morphin' time. To me, talking New York Jets is my superpower. Boy Green Daily starts now. Wow! Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily.
It's not just football, man.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Offense, defense, special teamwork, just football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, let's go!
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcasts. We're here on a beautiful Monday, August 17th. Again, preseason week 1 is in the books. The Jets lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but who cares? We lost, so it's just preseason. If we would have won, it would have been the greatest thing of all time. Now, we're ready for Jets-Steelers week. Jets return to practice today. And before we get into the topic of hand, I have one request to the football gods above. When Aaron Glenn speaks to the media in a couple hours, again, some of you are watching live right now, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Some of you are watching this or listening to this well after the fact, either or. And some of you may have this information as you're listening to this podcast, and I'm about to request from the gods. I just want to make sure Geno Smith is out there at practice and that Aaron Glenn gives some positive update on Geno Smith when he comes out. Because Geno Smith, of course, did not play in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game because of surprise, what was initially reported as foot soreness, but it's really just an ankle soreness. There's no sprain. That's what he said. And I'm led to believe the team because that's what they said. So I want to believe them. But if Geno, for some reason, doesn't practice today, all of a sudden you're like, thought it was just a little thing. So I'm just putting good vibes out into the universe. Good vibes. Let's just hope that's exactly what is shared later today in a handful of hours. So I just want to make sure we put that right on the get-go, because then that could lead to some other problems later in the week. However, let's get to it, baby. We have a full article in the YouTube description down below on this very topic matter. The Jets Collective podcast is back, baby, to lead a Boy Green Daily show. And before I get there, a key member of the Jets Collective podcast, the point guard, if you will, has sent in a $2 super chat.
Wow.
Jake Asman, the leading point guard for the Jets Collective podcast with Jake Asman, of course. He's the main squeeze, host of the Jake Asman Show, ESPN New York, all the like. We got Brandon Tierney, BT Unleashed. We have Rich Cimini of ESPN fame, of course. And that is leading off the show because this intrigued me. My ears perked up. When I was waiting, I had to drop my fiance off at the doctor's, and I was sitting in the car listening to the rest of the Jets Collective podcast last week, and this one went, Well, that's a topic for the show. And Rich Cimini and Jake Asman, Brandon Tierney talked it all out about the J.J. McCarthy trade possibility. So, Jake, we'll put this towards your raffle ticket total. He says, Boy Green Daily, 7 a.m., a new era of boy greenness. I like that being used in that way. Boy greenness. I got to put that on a t-shirt. Jake Asman is the king of putting things on t-shirt. I saw the new Pain t-shirt lineup. Very nice. You know, the only pain we're going to be delivering is the pain on their sorry candy asses of our opponents. But that's neither here nor there. Appreciate you, Jake Asman. Let's go to the clip. This is from the Jets Collective podcast. And Jake Asman brings up the topic matter of choice, and then I'll get back into your guys' gifted memberships here in a second. Let's get to the tail of the tape. This is Jake Asman bringing up the J.J. McCarthy trade possibility topic. And ESPN's Rich Cimini says, yeah, I'd make that call. Interesting. Let's roll the footage.
Is involving a backup quarterback in Minnesota. He was their starter a year ago, and now that starter is Kyler Murray. So J.J. McCarthy, who once upon a time was a first-round pick, he's now the number 2. Maybe he'll end up being the number 3 with Carson Wentz there, but seemingly his days starting are potentially up in the air for the Vikings. Should the Jets, Rich, make any calls about J.J. McCarthy and try and add another young quarterback to their room?
I would make that call. I really would. And I know the young man has obviously struggled a lot And I think he's probably done in Minnesota. If they thought there was a half a chance that they could mold him into something this year, he'd be starting right now. So I don't know if they'd be willing to trade him. I don't think they're closed their mind to the idea of trading him. But if I'm Muji, I mean, McCarthy he's got a lot of raw talent. He's just raw. He needs developing, but there is talent there. He did play better toward the end of the year. From week 11 on, I wrote this down. From week 11 on, he was 17th in QBR, right in the middle of the pack over the last, seven or 8 weeks of the season, which, by the way, his QBR over that span was better than Goff, better than Hurts, Darnold, Rodgers, and way better than Geno Smith. I'm not saying he's the answer, but I would bring him in as my backup and then have him in my building for a year, get to see him every day in practice, and decide whether maybe he could be something into the future. So, of course, it depends on asking price. His contract is cheap. He's got 2 years left at team control at a very low number. So if I'm the Jets, I would make that call and try to get him.
All right, there you go. You guys can listen to the full clip. Jake Asman shares his take. Brandon Tierney shares his take. It's out there on the Jets Collective X account at NYJetsHMA. So you guys can go check it out there for the full clip. There's an interesting back and forth, and everyone shares their perspective. I find it fascinating. We'll talk about those other perspectives here on the show. J.J. McCarthy, he lost the quarterback battle to Kyler Murray, if you even want to call it a battle. I fully anticipated J.J. McCarthy was going to get his lunch handed to him in this quote-unquote quarterback competition. Kyler Murray is a former number 1 overall pick. J.J. missed all of his rookie year with the knee injury after getting hurt in the preseason. He was very up and down last year, to put it mildly, and then they signed Kyler Murray. I think part of the wink-wink of Kyler Murray coming to Minnesota was like, obviously I'm being the starter here, and I think that's exactly what transpired. So I think JJ was probably screwed from the outright, but it's not like JJ played great last year, although that is a interesting, deeper level analytic we'll get to from Rich Cimini here in just a second. First off, let's get to some of those memberships raining from the high heavens. I see NC Green is gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership on YouTube. You know, when you hear these chimes, 2 things happen. An angel gets their wings and someone gets a Coffee Club membership. Oh, yeah, baby. 9 tickets for NC Green so far this month. And before we read that new member to the Boy Green Coffee Club, number 1 Austrian Jets fan wants to jump in the mix and round it out with 75 raffle tickets. Boom shakalaka. All right, let's read those 2 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club, and we'll talk about the raffle prizes in a little bit later. That first membership went to Byte_E9, and Austrians went to, hey, Kevin Zwicker out there in the chat. Shout out to Kevin. K-Zwiz. I don't think that's actually a nickname at all. Anywho, Kevin Zwicker. Yes, sir. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Thanks for spreading the love, Austrian and NC Green. Very nice. Hey, speaking of Kevin, already paying it forward, he's got a $2 super chat here on the program. Every time I get a super chat, we hear from my daughter, Zariah Luna.
Wow.
Oh, my. Wow. Kevin Zwicker with a $1.99 super chat says, JJ is, quote, booty. I've seen enough booty quarterback play. Well, if you're a Jets fan, you probably have. That's for sure. Kevin, we'll add that to your raffle ticket totals. You're $1 away at some point before the end of the month away from a raffle ticket yourself. Well, let's talk about this for a second, okay? The raw numbers for JJ, I won't lie, they're terrible. You'll see it in the YouTube description down below, but I'll read them to you. I can read up and down, left to right. The numbers on the surface for JJ are not good. Again, he missed all, so let's take a step back. So J.J. McCarthy enters the league as the number 10 overall pick in the first round of the 2024 NFL draft. Most Jet fans should remember that because the Jets had the 10th overall pick in 2024. They faked it like other teams were trying to trade up. And then the Jets said, oh boy, Vikings, are you sure you don't want this pick? We might trade it. And the Vikings were like, okay, we'll trade up. And they flip-flopped. The Jets were not going to take J.J. McCarthy. The Vikings were. Jets get Olu Fashanu. He no longer wants to be called Olu Muiwaz, he told me, so I'll keep it to Olu. So they make that flip. They get the same player they would have taken at 10, and the world is a better place. So we should all remember that Jets-Vikings trade, which ultimately landed J.J. McCarthy there. Now, he, of course, was the QB1 of the 15-0 Michigan national championship team the year prior before getting drafted. And, he didn't play his rookie year. Unfortunately, he hurt his knee, had a meniscus tear in the preseason, missed the whole year, season-ending knee surgery. And then last year was his first season. He started 10 games. He had a 6-4 record as a starting quarterback, not too shabby. Completed 57.6% of his passes, threw for 1,600 yards, and had an 11 touchdown to 12 interception ratio. Not good. Completion percentage sucks. Passing yards, I mean, you could sort of work out the average. That's obviously not very good either. So the passing numbers, not good. Completion percentage, not good. And then having more interceptions and touchdowns, last time I checked, just in, sucks. So, Kevin, there is some bootiness, certainly, here to what you reference. However, I think the deeper number from Rich intrigues me at the very least. That Rich says that J.J. played better at the end of the year. Quote, from week 11 on, J.J. McCarthy was 17th in QBR, right in the middle of the pack over the last 7 or 8 weeks of the season, which, by the way, his QBR was higher than Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts, Sam Darnold, Aaron Rodgers, and way better than Geno Smith over that same span. So that at least is intriguing. And what are we talking about on trade price here, right? He was a 10th overall pick, but that price ain't the price anymore, clearly. He lost a QB battle to Kyler Murray. So Kyler's at least the guy for this year. And if Kyler balls out, I'm sure he's going to stay in Minnesota. So I don't see where J.J. McCarthy's future is in Minnesota with the purple people eaters. I don't. What's it going to cost, a day 3 pick? I mean, maybe. Why not? If you're the Jets, you should be kicking the tires on everything. Because here's the thing, right? We're in a desert as Jet fans. We're just sort of plodding along. We're like, oh God, it's so hot. Oh my God, it's hot as sin. It's hot as hell out here. And we're just walking. We're like, wait a second. Hey guys. Do you see that over there? What? Look, just rub your eyes. Look, it's right there. There's an oasis. It's right in the middle of the desert. We just got to keep running, boys. We got to keep running. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. We motivate each other. Like, there it is. That oasis is the 2027 NFL draft. Hey, man, that could be our quarterback over there. Like, come on, let's go. But it's a far away distance. It's many, many months away. We can't get there tomorrow. But between now and tomorrow, this tomorrow in quotes, right, which is in May, apparently, of the 2027 NFL draft, like, the Jets need to do something. And something they could do is, of course, evaluate Cade Klubnik, see what the hell he has, but try to evaluate more. If J.J. McCarthy's available for a late day 3 pick, mid day 3 pick, that's worth a conversation at the very least. The Jets should swing and take as many swings as possible to have an opportunity to get guys. Have you ever heard of a team going, geez, we just have too many quarterbacks here. This sucks. No. And if so, that sounds like a champagne problem. The Jets need a starting quarterback. They need a backup quarterback. And maybe Cade is going to be one of these things, right? Geno could be one of these things for the president. But like long-term, I'm talking about, you need a long-term starter and you need a long-term backup. Long-term backup is just as valuable. We've shared this stat 1,000 times on the show. Since 2015, that season, all the way through now, there have only been 2 quarterbacks over the last 11 years that have started every game of a season in that season in which they played. There's Ryan Fitzpatrick in 2015. He started all 16. He did get hurt on the road in Oakland at the time. Geno Smith, our good friend, came in to complete the game, but Ryan Fitzpatrick started it. And then, of course, 2024, Aaron Rodgers started all 17. Those are the only 2. Every other season was required at least 2 quarterbacks, if not more. So backup quarterback is important to all teams, especially if you're a New York Jets fan. So, like, I don't know, man. I'm intrigued. Now, there's been a lot of bad, obviously, but maybe there's untapped potential there. Clearly, that QBR indicates that the arrow is starting to point in the right direction. He, quite frankly, just ran out of time at the end of the year. The season was over, and then it's the offseason. The Vikings had to make big decisions. David Aaron says it's a mirage. 1 in 10 quarterbacks are worthy, but the Jets will have drafted all the others in 9 quarterbacks. Hey, man, I just go back to whatever that class was. I think that couldn't have been 24. That was that was the 6. It was same J.J. McCarthy class. The first 3 picks: Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May. Caleb Williams looks really good. Jaden Daniels had one really good year, one bad year, but it was injury, so I don't know. But the arrow's still up there. And then Drake May obviously just went to the Super Bowl, and he was a few votes shy of winning the MVP. So there's plenty of classes. 2018. Now, that's also when the Jets took Sam Darnold, right? Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson's been a multi-time MVP, and Josh Allen is wreaking havoc all over the league. So, and Baker Mayfield, look at what he's doing. So, like, there are classes where it's not just one. That's been on the unfortunate mirage that has been our, displeasure, David, clearly. But I have hope. I see that oasis. It looks like there's a few different pools of water we could be swimming in. We'll see. The college football season will be the truth serum. We will find out who is who or what. CJ Carr, Arch Manning, Dante Moore, whoever the guy is. I feel confident somebody's going to step up to the plate, and we will have a multiple choice question. NC Green says, please no Dylan Gabriel. Whoever's bringing up Dylan Gabriel, hell no. Good God, no. I don't think so. I mean, it's hard to be picky when we're on the bottom, I guess, but yeah, Dylan Gabriel just doesn't rev my engine. No. I heard people bring it up earlier. If, like, Kevin O'Connell can't get it out of JJ, who else can? Well, if we're going to be swimming in that water, if Cleveland is like, yeah, it's Deshaun Watson or Shedeur, and Dylan's not even in the competition, if Cleveland doesn't think he's anything, what does that say? If we're going to have that same conversation in reverse. Taylor Sterling says, Michigan won because of defense and running game. JJ threw like 5 times in the national championship game. Hey, man, that's what he was asked to do. He was the starting quarterback of a 15-0 undefeated national championship team. Now, I'm not going to try to sell you up a river that Joe Burrow's 15-0 LSU Tigers and J.J. McCarthy's 15-0 Michigan Wolverines are the same thing, because I'm not a liar. I won't say that to you. But they are both national champions. There you go. Something to consider. Some more comments here. Oh, Taylor, come on. Donovan Edwards was more responsible for Michigan being 15-0 than JJ. Come on, man. That's not true. I love Donovan Edwards. Former Jet legend, of course. But now, come on. NC Green says, our best bet is still Andy Dalton, who I believe is going to be available. I don't believe the Eagles are keeping 4 quarterbacks. They have Jalen Hurts. They have Tanner McKee. They have Cole Payton. They have Andy Dalton. Obviously, Jalen Hurts isn't going anywhere. Tanner McKee, they've just talked up all offseason. They can walk on water. If he suddenly left, that would be a massive surprise. But I'm not in Eagles camp every day, so I don't know what the hell's going on over there. And Cole Payton, they just drafted in the 5th round. I was there. I was there in the draft when they drafted him. I heard it on the speaker because I was grabbing my daughter a Build-A-Bear. It's actually technically a Build-A-Bunny, a New York Jets cheerleader bunny. So I briefly left the draft situation to go get her a gift, and I heard it on the loudspeakers. The 5th round, the Philadelphia Eagles select Cole Payton, who is Lou B's guy. And so, yeah, I don't think they're keeping 4. So I think, to me, how I view Andy Dalton, sure, you can view him as the quote-unquote best bet. To me, NC Green with Andy Dalton, I view him as a trapdoor. Like, if all else fails, Andy Dalton's there. He's got the prior relationship with Frank Reich. I think he's totally going to be available. And because he's an old man now, he's a vested veteran. There's no waivers, which the Jets have great waiver position. They have the 2nd overall waiver wire priority. He's brought this up a ton this offseason, and it's true. It's a great creative way to improve your roster, but that won't play a factor because he's a vested veteran, so he can do whatever the hell he wants. But yes, that's a if I'm Andy, and I could be a QB2 in New York potentially, depending on this Cade Klubnik situation. Like, if I'm Andy, why wouldn't I do that? That's an upgrade over being QB4 in Philly on the practice squad. But hey, Carson Wentz chose QB3 in Minnesota, or maybe QB2, which could open up the doors for the J.J. McCarthy stuff. Taylor Sterling says, sign a Joe Flacco type. Well, Joe Flacco is signed already. He has a job. So who is your Joe Flacco type, Taylor Sterling? I'd love to hear the other, who your guy is. Hep says, who is the Notre Dame quarterback? He's picking up steam. That would be one CJ Carr, baby. And yes, if you're a Boy Green Coffee Club or a Special Club member, you saw the CJ Carr video I put up this morning with Trevor Sikkema. That'll go to the general public in a couple hours. I'm a Notre Dame guy, as you guys all know, with my father. So, yeah, baby. Give me some CJ Carr action. Yes. Man, there's a lot of people who don't like J.J. McCarthy. Chubb for Club says J.J. is straight booty cheeks. Oh, my. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, hopefully J.J. McCarthy's family isn't watching right now. Jesse Owen says, what is Geno Smith's ceiling for a contract after next season? Sort of an impossible question to answer, Jesse, because to me, this is Geno Smith's last chance saloon. If he plays terribly, he's never going to be a full-time starter ever again. He will be a bridge guy. He'll be a backup clipboard holder. He's got good leadership traits, so I imagine he could play this game for as long as he wants. Because if you are a cranky veteran, that's where teams are start going like, the juice ain't worth the squeeze, man. We can find somebody else who could do what you do. But with Geno's sort of disposition, I believe he could keep playing quarterback for as long as he wants as a backup. But if he wants to remain a starter, then he needs to ball out this season, or else those grains in the hourglass are over. So what's his contract ceiling? I mean, if he truly, let's play the scenario out, I guess, for the question. If Geno Smith truly he went nuts and just had a great year. Like he threw for like 4,000 yards, threw like 25 to 30 touchdown passes, like that kind of season. He always has a high completion percentage. I mean, maybe 30 million plus, like that's obviously a super high number. He's making like 1.8 million or something with the Jets this year. He's making more than that with the Raiders, like in totality, like 18, 19 million, but like, yeah, probably like 30 million bucks or something. And then would the Jets do it? Like, that's the interesting question. Would he take far less? I don't know, but maybe he could have one more juice run. I imagine the Jets or somebody else. To me, if things go right for Geno this year, I'm sure the Jets would want him back and he'd want to stay. Like, wow, things went so right, I want to stay. I want to stick around. But yeah, maybe a 1-year deal for 30 million. Maybe he tries to squeeze out a 2-year deal and the Jets are like, and they go back and forth about it. Maybe, I don't know, something like that. But yeah, obviously if the season goes poorly, then Geno's not coming back. The Jets will pursue different waters. But yeah, maybe a 1-year deal for like off the top of my head, like 30 million or something. Because I don't think he gets the 40 million range. He's 35. He turns 36. He and my fiance have the same birthday. So he turns 36 on October 10th. So he'd be 36 going into his 37 season. Maybe I'm too aggressive on the money. I don't know. Yeah, that sort of off the top of my head, Jesse. Hopefully that answers your question out there in the audience. Appreciate that. Folks, make sure you guys like the video here and hit subscribe. We have over 100 people watching the show. Appreciate that. And 60 plus here on YouTube. Thank you. Here on a beautiful Monday morning. Again, Jets are back at practice today. Aaron Glenn will be speaking in a couple hours. Again, I'm hoping for good energy and vibes on Geno Smith, obviously. And any other injury updates for that matter. We talked about Devondre Sweat yesterday. Taylor Stark, Tim Tebow won a lot. Hey, Tim Tebow is a Jets legend, buddy. Tim Tebow won a lot of games in college too. Yeah, and some national championships and Heisman trophies. Yeah, Tim Tebow's the man. Yeah, he absolutely is. Kevin Schwick with another super chat, officially punching into his raffle ticket.
Wow.
There we go, Kevin. You're officially in the running, baby. Let's frickin' go. $2 super chat says, I want more in 27. Can't run away this time. I will tell you. Who did I just run into? Oh, yes. It was an old childhood friend. So, quick story. I'm moving around a lot of stuff. I run into a photo album, like an old school little photo album. And I just start thumbing through it. And I find my childhood friend. And I like take a picture. I'm like, oh, do I still have his number? Oh, I do. I took a picture of the Polaroid, and sent it to him. And didn't say anything. I just sent it to him. And then he just said, oh, man, that's crazy. And then we called each other. And we were talking. We hadn't talked in many, many years. And he says, who's the Jets quarterback now? He's like, oh, yeah, you guys almost had Dante Moore, but he went back. And I'm like, oh, thanks for bringing that up. But yes. Dante Moore, I think very likely would have been the number 2 overall pick for the Jets. They probably would have pulled the trigger at quarterback, and David Bailey would have gone somewhere else, I suppose. But that didn't happen. Dante Moore went back. And I made a joke on Twitter where I said, I think it was I think we have the clip. What is it? Do I have it here quickly? Let me see if where this is general manager Darren Muji in the 2027 NFL draft.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Like he went back to school, but some people say he went back to school to quote unquote avoid the Jets, and then we have the number 1 overall pick in 2027. We got you. Unless you're going to school at Oregon to be a doctor, we've got you, you bastard. You can't go back now. So that would be hilarious. But some people didn't get the joke. I thought it was funny, but I patted myself on the back for that one. But that would be funny. That if I don't know if that's really true, but it felt like it was true because it was like, oh boy, if you enter, you will be a Jet. He's like, I got more school to do. But yeah, Dante Moore's in that conversation. Arch Manning's in that conversation. I'm trying to think of everybody else. CJ Carr, obviously. I'm a Notre Dame guy. There's a million guys every time from Lenore Sellers to this guy. The reason why I feel so confident, because again, we just had this happen with this draft, right? This draft was supposed to be awesome. It wasn't. Yeah, quarterback. There's just so many guys that are all of them gonna suck? That seems unlikely. People talk about a group of 10 quarterbacks that are going to be in the mix here and then there's always surprises. There's Fernando Mendoza's, there's Joe Burrow's, there's whoever, Zach Wilson's, or whoever your guy is. Maybe Zach was a bad example, but there's just been a lot of these guys where the cards are set. You're like, oh, here are the 7 quarterbacks are going to be something this year. Whoa, who's 8? He just comes out of nowhere and he's in the conversation. But no, Dante Moore certainly in that conversation. It'll just depend, obviously, where we're all picking will decide our fate, I suppose. Yeah. But that would be hilarious for Dante Moore. Aha, we got you now. That would be funny. A lot of mixed opinions here on JJ. Mostly negative, I see in the chat. But again, to me, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? I believe he's going to be a day 3 pick. He's got, as Rich pointed out, the contract for J.J. McCarthy. Again, back into that conversation. His contract's dirt cheap. He's likely going to be for a day 3 pick. Your quarterback room could be Geno, J.J., and Cade, and then just rock with that, and there you go. I don't know. It's not going to cost much. What do you have to lose? He's a young guy with upside. He's got something in there. Now, could the Jets get it out? I don't know. I think the Jets are the best position to get the best out of whoever their quarterbacks are for the first time in a long time. I like Bill Musgrave. I like Frank Reich. I like our offensive line. I like Garrett Wilson. I like Adonai Mitchell. I like Omar Cooper Jr. I love Isaiah Williams. I love Breece Hall. I love Braylon Allen. I love a lot of the Jets offense. I love Lamp. And when I love Lamp, means when you get that quarterback in, that quarterback should be in a favorable position more times than not. Jets Worldwide says the Colts will supply us with the top 5 pick. I truly believe that to my bones. My gut says the Colts are going to be awful this year. They've got a lot of talent, Jonathan Taylor and all these other cats. But I believe it in my loins that the Colts are going to be terrible, and thus that will be the pick. Now, I don't like wishing injuries on anybody. The Jets, of course, also control the Cowboys pick or the Packers pick, whichever ends up being worse, right? The Cowboys pick 5, the Packers pick 7, Jets get 5. They get the better first-round pick next year. I don't wish injury on anybody. If there's no injuries, I highly doubt that pick will be high because the Cowboys are really talented, the Packers are really talented. I doubt that. However, if there's a key injury and it happens every year, it's football. It's a very violent sport, man, a game that eats its young, as my old partner Bud Poliquin used to say. So if someone slips on a banana peel, all of a sudden you have multiple paths to go land that quarterback. And so, I truly believe that you can. Someone said this yesterday on whatever show. I do too many shows. Whatever show I was, you can have your cake and eat it too as a Jets fan. You can have your cake and eat it too. There is a world where the Jets win 8 games, 9 games, whatever. And in theory, that would be bad if you only had your own first-round pick because that's picking 15th or something. And then you're like, geez, we can't get a quarterback and we can't trade up. We don't have the assets. But in this year, you can win and someone else can deliver that top pick for you. You can win and then get the franchise quarterback. Wouldn't that be the greatest thing of all time? Wouldn't that be something? And I think it's possible with the Colts. They're a super volatile team, in my opinion. Luby says, can we do a poll of available quarterbacks for trade? The problem is There's an infinite list of guys they could trade for, Luby, or I would. But maybe I'll think of a bunch of them here in a second. David Aaron says, damn, Boy Green, if you're leafing through the memorabilia while packing, you're going to need another 6 months for the landlord. I do have plenty of cool memorabilia, and I am a nostalgic guy. So when I find that photo album, I'm like, oh, well, I got to stop and look through it. We talked about this yesterday, right? My old high school football scrapbook my grandparents made me, and there's a beautiful handwritten note on this first page, as I showed yesterday. It's a very nice note. I will tell you, Jesus. I will tell you guys, reading it, there it is. There's this beautiful handwritten note here. And unfortunately, my grandparents are no longer with me or with us. But it felt like they were talking to me in that moment. Isn't that funny how the world works, people out in the audience? If this resonates with you, I hope it does. My grandparents are no longer with us. When they were alive, they put together this scrapbook that's right here in front of me. I'm putting my hand on it. On the first page of this scrapbook is a handwritten note. It was handwritten, then they typed it up because I think for their handwriting. So they type up this beautiful letter to me, talking to me. And as I was reading it, sometimes when you read something, you can hear it in the voice of the person that is intended for. And it was like they were talking to me from beyond as I'm reading this note. We're proud of you. We love you. This meant so much to you. You mean so much to us. Here's your family history. Here's your family crest. Here's your family lineage. And it was just special. So that is true, David. I am a nostalgic guy, so I could get lost in the sauce. Luckily, I was very good yesterday. Did a ton of packing, got a ton of stuff done in the middle of this move process. And I did not, I was just focused. I'm like, boom, move this, boom, pack this, boom. And not a lot of, not a lot of that. Boy Green did very well for himself. But that is true. With the memorabilia seeing it, I just found, it's funny you say that, a autographed New York Jets football with a certificate of authenticity for my collection. That is true. Yes. So people were asking about that. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll throw up a random poll. All right, folks, we'll throw up a random poll that we can go this. Let me see. Okay. I'll throw up 4 random options, okay? And then you guys can, do what you want with it. Let me see. I think I know who's going to win. I don't know if this is a fair poll to do because I know one of the names you guys want in here, but I will put it up. I will put it up, and I'll explain the poll as I do this. If you're watching live on YouTube, you guys will be able to put up, you'll be able to react to this poll. Which of these QBs should the Jets trade for this offseason? Okay, so we have to put J.J. McCarthy on the list. So, J.J., you're on the list. Okay. We got to put Andy Dalton on the list. That's a very viable option. Got to put Andy Dalton on the list. I feel like Mason Rudolph has to go on this list. Let's put Mason in there. Okay. All right. Mason Rudolph. Okay. And then the last option, I hear a lot of you saying Tanner McKee. Is that even on the table? Would they even trade him? I'll go to, before I submit this poll officially here, I think Andy has to be on there. That's very possible. Mason Rudolph has to be on there. That's very possible. What's the other one? And then J.J. McCarthy. Yeah. I see that. Luby says, Boy Green, you packed the shirt iron too soon. Yeah, I'm wearing the Indy Jet shirt, but it could use a good iron. Luby, thank you for pointing that out. It could use a good iron. Yeah, JJ, Andy, Mason. Is there anyone else? Maybe that's it. Maybe that's a list. Yeah, because again, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll put Tanner in here, but if you guys all vote for Tanner, I'm going to be very disappointed. Okay, here we go. Which of these quarterbacks should the Jets trade for this offseason? J.J. McCarthy, Andy Dalton, Mason Rudolph, Tanner McKee. I'll start the poll. Run it. That'll be running here on YouTube. You guys can vote on that. We'll check on that throughout the show. I'll also open up the phone lines, and you guys can make your case for which quarterback you believe the Jets should trade for. And then if you have a fill-in-the-blank option, just put it on YouTube here. Put a option we didn't consider. So let's do this. Let's play a halftime out. We'll welcome in your phone calls. It's a beautiful Monday here on August 17th. It is game week. Jets, Steelers, baby. No joint practices. There's no more joint practices for the Jets this offseason, but they will be playing the Steelers on Friday night on the road. Jets will travel to Pittsburgh. short trip to get down there to Pittsburgh. I've been to Pittsburgh. We're there for the draft. Beautiful. And we'll see old friend Aaron Rodgers. Why the hell not? And that'll be lovely. So we have that preseason game Friday night. We'll also have play-by-play coverage once again of that Jets-Steelers game. So guys, be tuned for that here on the YouTube channel. And we do have practice today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Day off Thursday, preseason game Friday. So let's freaking go. Have time out your phone calls next. We have 75 people currently watching here on YouTube. Folks, like the video. That is the free way to contribute to this show. Let's get to 10,000, baby. Let's keep growing this army. We only have 23 likes, but 75 people watching on YouTube. Let's fix that. Make it a part of your routine. Every time you come in, you like the video. Just make it a part. Like the video and then say hello to thy neighbor in the comment section. Whether you're watching live or after the fact, it makes a tremendous difference. Thank you very much. Have time out. More on the poll and so much. Let's go.
1, 2, 3. It's not just football, man. It's not just football, man.
Let's go, everybody. I just had to redo the poll. Hopefully that fixes it. There were some poll issues. All right, I just re-put the poll back up. Hopefully that works for you. Welcome back to Boy Green Daily, everybody. I'm Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. We do daily New York Jets video content here on the program and so much more. Special interviews, which, by the way, Alex Kozora of Steelers Depot, he joins me every year. The Jets and Steelers are interacting. I love doing that last week with Trevor Sikkema. Who are some players in the Steelers rosters we could steal at key positions, talk about the game and all the hoopla. It should be a lot of fun. So Alex Kozora later this week, and you guys can enjoy the heck out of that. All right, the phone lines are open. That's a pin comment on youtube.com/boygreen25. Let's kick it off with Hep.
Hey, Paul. Hey, guys. Hey, I'm Paul. When do you start the Bills gig?
That's a great question. It keeps getting delayed, as a matter of fact. So though I will tell you, I did do a Billsy thing on Saturday. My boss said, "Hey, Paul, can you come in? You have the baseball game that night, but can you come in early? We need you to help work the preseason game for the Bills." So I said, "Sure, boss, whatever you need." So I came in and I was on the second half of the Bills preseason game. So nothing on air. It was all behind the scenes, making sure the ship didn't explode, basically, was all I had to do. So, yeah, so I did do some Bills preseason game on Saturday. But, yeah, the actual job keeps getting delayed, unfortunately. So the wait continues.
Do those guys know that you do play-by-play?
I don't think so, no.
Well, what are you waiting for? That's not a secret, dude. You know,
That's
you
true.
never know. It's like,
That's true.
oh, shit, the guy's not here. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Oh, Paul,
yeah.
you do play-by-play.
Yeah, right. It is funny that people like to go like, damn it, we need answers. Who do we have in the room? You? Me? No. All right. Here we go. So I'm at the ready. I'm at the ready for
Right.
him. Yeah.
Now, as far as the backup quarterback goes, I mean, 90% of the time, your quarterback goes down. You're in the sauce pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't want to spend too much money on that. I like Cade. I think he's going to be a good backup quarterback, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
If not a starting quarterback, he's got some moxie, that kid. But anyway, regardless of that, I'm more curious about Braylon Allen. And is he gonna? What's his story? Is he gonna be? Because I think he's more than just a power back. He's fast. He gets vertical really quick, and he can catch out of the backfield. So Is he going to show up this year? What's going to be the story with him? What do you think?
Yeah, I just wrote a piece about him last night. I do think you're right. We are in a society of labeling. Oh, 250 pounds. Yeah, you're the bruiser back. Yeah, short yardage. Yeah. And he's like, all right, I guess. Like, that's just how we've labeled him in the universe. Then you see that breakaway 31-yard run where he's running and people are disappearing behind him. I think he showed loud and clear that he needs to be a factor here, and he's not just holding anyone's jockstrap here. So that to me is pretty exciting. So yeah, what's his role? I don't think it's going to be Lendale White, Chris Johnson smash and dash, but I think the split is, I'm going to make this up, 65-35, 70-30. Like I think that's where he's going to cut. And then if I'm Braylon, what I do is like, okay, let's say it's 35%. I kill 35%. I demand that you have to give me more. You're like, oh, damn, we can't keep this guy off the field. So I think that's what we should all do in life is whatever we get, don't complain about what we get. Show them that we deserve more. Kill your 35% in life. And the guy's like, oh, my goodness, look at this freaking guy. He's freaking killing it over here. We have to give him more reps. We need to feed the beast here. And so that's what I think for Braylon. It's obviously staying healthy, but, having not seen him in essentially almost a calendar year, and for him to look like that, because I think he defeated a lot of narratives too, because I don't know if we talked about it on the show, but there was this fantasy football guy. His name starts with something with a D for NBC or something. And he said, hey, don't fall for Braylon Allen. He looks good on a beach, but he sucks. He's terrible. And like ripped him. And Braylon Allen responded to that post and just put pictures of himself like shirtless, because that's what the guy says all he does. So he's sort of saying like, hey, fuck you, buddy. And then like he goes in this game, and I say, if that's not a louder message, I don't know what is. So yeah, I'm really excited for Braylon, that if anything happens to Brees, like, and I don't want anything to happen to Brees, like Braylon, it's good to know that you have somebody else in there. And the demise of him was greatly exaggerated. There's all these people saying Isaiah Davis was going to leapfrog him this offseason on the depth chart. And Isaiah Davis, unfortunately, has hurt himself, so we're probably not going to see him the preseason. I think Braylon Allen's going to be a straw that stirs the drink here. I do.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's a hell of a punch, to put those two guys in there. But we'll see what happens. I look at it. Isaiah Davis is Brees's backup, and that
right.
And then then we should really utilize those two guys. But of course, play the Jackrabbit once in a while too. Just
sure.
But anyway, that's all I got today. See you later.
Thank you, Hep. Love it. Yeah, that's interesting that Isaiah Davis be the direct backup to Brees, but Brees and Braylon yin and yang. That's fascinating. That's a great way to put it. Yeah, and also a lot of people talk shit about Braylon Allen. So he weighed about, depending on when you check the Jets roster sheet, he weighed between 238 pounds and 240 pounds on the Jets roster sheet last year. This year is 250. And a lot of people said, his yards per carry is 3.7. And now he's added more weight. He's going to be a slow pile of brick out there. Did he look like a slow pile of brick in that preseason game? Did he? Spoiler alert. No, he didn't. So a lot of people talking that talk on old Braylon Allen. Okay? A lot of talking that talk on Braylon Allen. To me, show some respect. Show some respect. That's what I say. Yes, I am packing up the office behind me for those asking. So I'm slowly chipping away at it. There's a few things I'm putting in boxes now. So yes, let's go. Shout out to Craig Mechanics. He says, lunchtime for me too. I've been up since 2 a.m. Travel day to shop. Good Lord. 2 a.m. All right. You beat me. I went to bed at like 11 o'clock last night or something. Yeah, I think it was something like that. Some more comments here. The Blunt Father says, hey, Boy Green, stash a Jets jersey somewhere in that new stadium. It sounds like they're already having enough problems as it is without any influence by me, but I'll make sure I do that. I work out of the Syracuse office, but yes. NC Green says, that run by Braylon just knocked Brees Hall down around in fantasy. Might have. If my advice, I haven't done any fantasy drafts yet. They are coming. I got to double check my sheet, but I believe I've got fantasy drafts. They're clearly coming here in late August and early September, but my first one might be next week. So I got to be on my P's and Q's. But my suggestion for anyone that drafts Brees Hall out there, it is worth getting the handcuff for Braylon Allen, in my opinion. Some people will be split and tell you Isaiah Davis, but yeah, I would get Braylon Allen as a handcuff, a guy just in case. David Aaron says, if you watch the Braylon Allen touchdown run, there's a DB that died for the feet of Allen who leaves him in the dust as if he wasn't there. That DB made a Cromartie business decision. That is true. Jets Chargers, when they were the San Diego Chargers, divisional round, Sean Green's coming through the hole, and Antonio Cromartie went limp biscuit and then took it to the house. Now, I want to just say, I love Antonio Cromartie. I hope we have him on the show one day. We've communicated a few times where it's been close. I'm like, huh? And then something came up and he couldn't. So Cromartie's on my list. He's like one of the most athletic freaks I've ever seen. I respect him like hell. That Chargers interception he had against the Colts in the playoffs is one like I'll never forget. He had this one-handed sick interception. Like, he's a freak. I'm glad he played for the Jets, and I hope we can have him on to reminisce in the future, for sure. But yeah, I don't know if I'm bringing up that play. That's what because Cromartie could just drop off the interview right there. If we get him on the show, I'm like, hey, what was going on here? I don't want to be a dick, but what happened on that Sean Green? I mean, I'm glad he did. Good for us as Jet fans because Sean Green took it to the hizzy. But yes, he definitely made a business decision there. Oh, I didn't see it on that DB, though. Oh, I fell over. Ah, geez. But hey, when Braylon Allen's coming after you, I imagine that a lot of people will be making business decisions. David Aaron, do you feel grimy and greasy after shilling for the Bills? Maybe I will when I actually get in the job. So this job was supposed to start 3 weeks ago. But like the preseason thing, like I like didn't like I was there in case something went wrong at the station, like to press buttons and do all, it's hard to explain my radio gig to people, but I'm there if hell broke loose because it's a simulcast. It's being broadcast from Buffalo, and I'm here in the Syracuse market to make sure the station doesn't explode or the sound is bad or things of that nature. So I'm sort of babysitting, for lack of a better word. This new job I haven't done yet, so I don't know. I imagine it's going to be a little bit more involved. Maybe I will. Like, I'll have to take a shower after every shift. I don't know. I'll let you guys know when that happens. But yes. Yeah, I'll let you guys know. That's funny, though. That's a good question. NC Green says, I just don't believe Muju would go into the regular season without adding a veteran quarterback. Let me see. Did this poll work? So poll working now? Okay, the poll's working now. Oh, thank God. All right, here we go. So which of these quarterbacks should the Jets trade for? We put 4 options down. J.J. McCarthy of the Minnesota Vikings, of course. Mason Rudolph of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tanner McKee of the Philadelphia Eagles. Or Andy Dalton, also of the Philadelphia Eagles. I put 2 Eagles on there. Who should the Jets trade for? And if you don't think they should trade for anyone, then I guess don't vote. But let me know. Who would you prefer of this group? Even if you don't want them to trade. If they were to trade, who would you prefer? I think Andy Dalton is the one that's probably the most obvious. There's a direct connection to Frank Reich. He sort of just is exactly, in theory, what they would be looking for. This old guy that could just get from point A to point B. He could just operate an offense. It's not spectacular. There's no sizzle, but he just sort of does the job. He's a professional quarterback. I can imagine that one. JJ, he's young with upside, but his experience is somewhat lacking. It's more experience than Tanner McKee, I guess, who's all upside. And then you have Mason Rudolph, who's sort of the perfect marriage of all of them. He's played a lot of games. He's still relatively young. He's like in his late 20s or something. So, like, I don't know. Right now, the leader of the vote is Andy Dalton with 42% of the votes. JJ McCarthy is in second place with 26%. Tanner McKee at 18%. Mason Rudolph at 14%. I imagine the most expensive of the group would be Tanner on perception, maybe JJ. But Andy Dalton, the Eagles traded for him this offseason for a 7th-round pick. That's how they got him. So I imagine another 7th-round pick will do it. JJ was a former 1st-round pick, so I don't know how the Vikings value him. Mason would probably be 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere in that range. And Tanner McKee, they were apparently asking for a 3rd, and no one bit. So yesterday's price is not today's price. I don't know. I guess it depends on your philosophy of what you would want if Gino was to go down. Someone to hold down and every time someone goes down, it's not for the season. So is it for a handful of games or for the season? Maybe that would change your answer out in the audience on which quarterback you'd prefer. Maybe. Mark Cicchetti says today's schedule for the Jets. So the Jets practice today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. 3 days of practice. Aaron Glenn speaks all 3 days. I believe practices are back to normal. So I think practice starts in 10 minutes, and I believe AG speaks after practice. So, yeah, the schedule is back to normal for the Jets. I believe it's practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, day off Thursday, and then It might be walkthrough Thursday. No, it'll probably be no media walkthrough on Thursday. And then Friday is the game, Jets Steelers. That is the schedule. Jets Worldwide. BG, will you be writing obstructed views on the Bills? Nothing for me is going to change on the Bills at all. The only thing is, some of the Bills people may have me on the show in the weeks leading up to Jets Bills because I'm the Jets guy and I'm in house. Maybe that'll happen, but nah, I'm not changing anything on the Bills. There's respect, like, hey man, you guys have won 1 million of these divisions in a row outside of the Patriots year, obviously. Here. So yeah, the respect, but I want the Jets to kick their ass. Yeah. Yes, I did see Deion Dawkins let his dog shit on the practice field. I did see that. Envelope brings up Gardner Minshew. Let me look at the Chiefs quarterback room. I don't think he would be available, but or Chiefs depth chart. Let me see. That's not a name we've talked about much this offseason. Let me take a gander here. Who are the quarterbacks Chiefs have over here? Oh, maybe. Wait a second. Oh, Cardinals. I'm an idiot. He was on the Chiefs last year. But speaking of, I just went to the Chiefs. They got Mahomes, Justin Fields, Garrett Nussmeier, Chris Aludakun, who played last year. The Cardinals is who I look for. Huh, geez. Yes, Gardner Minshew was on the Chiefs last year. I need to go to Cardinals, you dumb idiot. Yes. I forgot temporarily. Whoopsie. Anywho, back to Cardinals. All right. Yeah, they could probably keep 3, though. Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew, Carson Beck, and then they have Keaton Slovis. I could see them keeping 3. The reason why we've brought up the Eagles, the reason why we brought up the Steelers is they each have 4. And will they keep 4? Maybe. Not a lot of teams keep 4. Pittsburgh, since we're talking about them this week, I'll also ask Alex Kozora later this week about the quarterback thing. Would Will Howard shake free? Would Mason Rudolph shake free? Would none of them shake free? Are they going to keep 4? So I'll ask our Steelers insider later this week because obviously that is of great curiosity to Jet fans. But yeah, the teams to pay attention to that have overwhelming quarterbacks and we're watching, will they do something? Pittsburgh's got 4: Aaron Rodgers, Will Howard, Drew Aller, and obviously Mason Rudolph. Eagles, Andy Dalton, Tanner McKee, Jalen Hurts, and Cole Payton. Do they each keep 4? If they don't, an interesting one could shake free, which leads us to our conversation. So I don't know about Minshew. Looking at the Cardinals depth chart, I'm not sure. I don't think they would ride just with Jacoby Brissett and Carson Beck. I think they keep 3, is my gut. Taylor Strong says, I need Easy to write a verse for Hep Song remix time. All right. Okay. Yeah. NC Green says Mason Rudolph can hold the fort for a game or two, which is exactly my point. What are you? It's an overall arching a philosophy question to the Jets fan base. If Gino goes down for a game or two, would you prefer Mason Rudolph as a random example or Andy Dalton, or would you prefer Tanner McKee or whoever the young kid is? Now, the young kid is unknown. It's an unwrapped or unopened package at Christmas time. It could be good. It could be bad. There's less of that polarizing pendulum swing with an Andy Dalton, Mason Rudolph, because in theory, their floor is a lot higher. Their ceiling is lower, but their floor is higher. And what are you looking for from a backup? Probably higher floor just to service the job at hand. However, if the Jets just want multiple swings, right? In theory, Geno Smith, Cade Klubnik, and whoever this other guy is it Tanner McKee? Is it Will Howard? Is it trying to think of whoever's the J.J. McCarthy? Like, is it that kind of guy and you're just swinging for upside and maybe you just randomly hit the lottery? Maybe. But again, I guess that's more a philosophy question to the audience on that. For sure. All right, some good stuff here. Taylor Stern, could we trade Maury Bamba for a backup center? Highly doubt it. Centers are much more valuable than corners. So, no, I don't believe. I love the creativity, Taylor, of thinking in theory, can we flip a player and can't player for player swap and like, hey, you get an upside corner, we get a center? I would doubt that significantly. Offensive linemen are just so scarce. I'd be surprised if a team felt so good about their depth. They're like, yeah, sure, you can have a center. I don't think so. Mac, my heart Khalil, I'm sure David Bailey can't wait to meet Rodgers. No joint practices. I'll be curious what level of starters the Steelers play. We'll have to see that throughout the week, what Mike McCarthy decides to do. David Aaron says the schedule makers were very nice to the Jets in the preseason with the distance traveled. Absolutely. And the Jets have some say as well in the preseason opponents. They play the Giants every year, obviously. Yeah. So it's very nice. Very nice. Yeah, you can't really complain. At home, you just had Tampa Bay, so you didn't go anywhere. Pittsburgh is couple-hour drive, and then Giants are at home. So yeah. The Jets are well positioned here. Like Baltimore is traveling over to Minnesota, and I just heard from the Baltimore Ravens Collective podcast that the Ravens are traveling more for the Vikings game than they are for Brazil when they play that game against the Cowboys in like week 2 or 3 or something, like in terms of days traveled. So yeah, we're doing pretty well for ourselves. Oh, yes. By the way, people asking about all these co-hosts and stuff. We have a huge announcement. Tomorrow will be the debut of a brand new co-host on Boy Green Daily. This individual will be on every Tuesday moving forward, which will be great. Ricky New York Live so graciously adjusted his schedule for this individual. He'll be joining us every Wednesday moving forward. So Ricky New York Live and Boy Green every Wednesday morning. Tuesday will be a mystery guest. He'll be co-hosting every Tuesday for the season. That's exciting. Fridays will continue to be Bob Lederer. Saturdays will be Hop on Pop. Sundays will be a combination of Matt Lombardo, who is set to make his debut this Sunday with the Jets Worldwide crew following that conversation. So I have Lombardo for 30 minutes, Jets Worldwide for the rest. So yeah, baby, we've got a fun lineup of co-host and guest and things that'll be coming up on the show, which I'm very happy about. So I've been a solo host guy for a while. That'll be terrific. Hey, it's Izzy Jet 732, baby, with a $10 super chat.
Wow.
Appreciate you, Izzy. It was great meeting you virtually, and I can't wait to meet you in person. That is going to be absolutely spectacular. So let's frickin' go. Oh, man, this is going to be awesome. With your previous super chat combination set now takes you to 28 raffle tickets, Izzy Jet. Thank you very much. And let's update the leaderboard. A gold brick super chat. You love to see it, baby. Absolutely love to see it. Yeah. Let's go. Nice. That's what I'm freaking talking about, baby. Izzy Jet, you were in third place in our contest. We've got Austrian Jets fan number 1. Austrian Jets fan, he's got 75 raffle tickets so far this month. In first place, Cisco Lopez in second place with 36 raffle tickets. Izzy Jet in third place with 28. DIY for Life in fourth place with 18. And Philium with 17. Top 5. That's our top 5 leaderboard at this point. Appreciate you, Izzy. Awesome. By the way, real quick, here are the raffle items for this month. If you're new to the channel, we do a raffle every single month on the channel. And most of the time, the raffles are just $3 a pop. You got $3 in your couch cushion, throw them in the loop. You got a ticket to win our contest. We give these items away every first of the month. So September 1st, we're going to give away all these items on your screen. I'll explain them for audio-only listeners. We have an Eric McMillan autographed 1990 Pro Bowl card with the inscription 2X Pro Bowl and DROY 1988. This does come with a certificate of authenticity. Give me a little bit of grace on shipping at the beginning of the month because this move is happening. But I'll have all your items placed aside, guys, so I should be able to get that out post-haste. But yes, so we have an autographed Eric McMillan. He had 8 picks in that amazing 1988 rookie season, or 1990. Let me rephrase. He had the DROY season in 1988, went to the Pro Bowl in 1990. That was the card, 8 picks. So we have that card. We have a New York Jets New Era sideline hat. I would have got it signed at training camp, but everyone's permanent markers were black. So I was going to get the brim signed by a Jets player, but they only had black markers available. I should have brought a silver just in case. So no hat sign, but the hat's still pretty cool, brand new. And we have a Boy Green Jets package, license plate, custom coin, pen, keychain, and a vintage Garrett Wilson NFLPA one-handed catch shirt. A brand new Jets hat, a autographed memorabilia Jets card, which is sweet. I love that card. And then some cool New York Jets items. All that's up for grabs, baby. All you have to do is send in super chats, membership stickers. You guys can also PayPal or Venmo at BoyGreen25. Feel free to utilize that feature. And then also Zelle is an option as well. Paul A. Esden Jr. at gmail.com. Let's go. Barbara, a great question. BG, when are you actually moving? Well, Barbara, that is the greatest question of all time. Technically, our tentative closing date is in a week. However, the sellers had 2 issues to fix with the home in which we're moving into, and that has to be finished and then verified before we're allowed to move forward here. So I'm hoping from all the information provided that those items were addressed over the last couple of days, and thus they will be verified this week, and thus we can move on with the process. So, Barbara, incredibly frustrating, the lack of answers there for sure. I've never done this process, so I don't know if this is how it's supposed to go or not. But I am hoping to be moving here very shortly. Yeah. Next week, the week after, somewhere in this 2-week range, because the season's about to be upon us. So, like, I'm packing stuff, but there's certain stuff I can't pack, like certain stuff in my office to do the show every day. So that stuff can't be packed, but the rest of the house is getting packed as we speak. So when am I actually moving? Golly. I hope it's within the next 2 weeks, hopefully, Barbara. But yeah, we're with you. Yeah. For sure. Mark Sacchetti says, still suggest local movers. I will look into that, Mark Sacchetti. I will look into that. That'd be great. Obviously, that would expedite the process. So I will look into that, see if local movers can assist of getting all that in. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I haven't made any official decisions. David Aaron, BG, I listened to the TB podcast, post joint practice, to hear a summary without the green colored glasses. The show mentions I'm concerned with the Tampa Bay cornerback depth. There might be a market for ex-Jets been scouted. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, again, I've mentioned it the other side with Trevor Sycamore when we had our podcast last week, and it works the other way as well. The Bucs have, at these joint practices, had all of their players on the team, and Darren Muji and the scouting staff were on the field. They are getting a look at some of these Bucs players that might get cut or could get traded, and the Jets have a unique advantage of seeing these players in person. The same thing for Tampa Bay. They see all this Jets roster of 91 players. They're like, ooh, we want some of that. Ooh, we want some of that. Ooh, we want some of that. So the other way works as well, that the Bucs could poach the Jets roster, and that happens a lot coming off of these joint practices. Very possible. Yeah, so we can only hope. Yes, we do have a show coming up, Mac. I will be back on live at 3 o'clock. I'm not going away yet. I'll be on for a few more minutes here. But yes, we will be back on live at 3 o'clock. Please give some prayers to Manchild. He's having an operation today. We will see if he makes it in time for the show. That operation is happening in the next 60 minutes or so. So my partner in crime, Manchild, if you guys don't know, the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital YouTube channel. We cross-promote that platform here on the channel. Here is the link to subscribe. Feel free to do so. Let me see how many subscribers away we are. Let me take a gander on that. Yes, I'll be back live again at 3 o'clock today. We're live at 3 o'clock on Mondays, Wednesdays, and then soon Fridays. That is right around the corner. Let me take a peek. Oh, yeah, baby. So we are 38 subscribers away from 1,000. And I'd love to get there sooner rather than later. I do Jets content over there. We do Jake Asman interviews over there. It's terrific. So let me put this in the chat. We'll see if we could do it here on the show. That would be amazing. Subscribe to the channel here. Okay, here it is. I'll copy and paste that. So I just posted that in there. If you guys have not, please subscribe to youtube.com/@MCShowDigital. I just put it in the chat as well. So if you guys could show your support, I appreciate that. We're 38 subscribers away from 1,000. Once you get to 1,000, more things are possible. More things can happen. You get more monetization and other levels, which is exceptional and exciting for the channel. We just celebrated a year on that channel about a month or two ago. So any support you guys could give would be great. Like I said, we're 38 subscribers away from 1,000, and we were trying to push that over the top, push it over the hump. And please show your support for that channel. I will be live again at 3 o'clock. We'll be talking Jets. We'll have some new updates following practice. So Aaron Glenn notes, hopefully positive news and notes. So I'll either be hosting that solo if the operation was complicated in any way for Manchild. I'll be hosting that by myself. Or if he's good to go, it'll be me and Manchild. So we will see you guys later. He is having an operation, so please put your prayers together. Yes. Please put your prayers together for that. But again, subscribe, youtube.com/@MCShowDigital, whether you're watching live or after the fact. Would appreciate that. Let's see if we could get to 1,000 here in the very near future. Hey, we just got another subscriber. We're 37 subscribers away. Let's go. Let's keep the energy rolling here. Let me answer a few comments here. David Aaron says, BG, if you show up on TV in a nicely tailored suit, you could get a few thousand more subscriptions. Ask Dapper Jake Asman. Yeah, that's true. That seems to work for him. Yeah, Jake's doing killer work. He's picked up like 11,000 subscribers. He's picked up as many subscribers my entire channel has in like the last 3 weeks. It's impressive. Hey, Jake's a machine, man. Massive respect. Massive respect. Yeah, I bend the knee, man. I swear fealty to Jake Asman. He's killing it. Mark Sacchetti says, interested to see if we see Tavondre Sweat at practice today. You won't, Mark Sacchetti. Let me burst that bubble right now. Rich Samini already reported that he was activated, of course, off the NFI list. We talked about this over the weekend, which is great news. Phenomenal. But Tavondre Sweat will not be practicing this week. The goal is, according to Rich Samini, is that at the tail end of the week, more so next week, is when we should see Tavondre. The fact that he's activated off the list is good. Maybe he'll be doing some one-on-one drills or something, or maybe light work. So I won't completely rule it out, Mark, but it sounds like it's going to be not a whole heck of a lot. He needs to get back into normal shape, let alone football shape. So we'll see. But I don't believe you're going to be seeing Tavondre out there. I do not. Thank you all for the best witches. There you go. That is terrific. And then we'll go back to the phone lines in a second, but I have Max saying, was Maury Bamba on the anyone's 53-man roster bingo card? It was not, certainly. But I don't know if he's making it. Right now, I think he's on the practice squad radar. Can lightning strike twice in the same place? Can he perform very well again against the Steelers? Now, steam is getting picked up. Right now, I think he's on the practice squad radar. He's got a path to the practice squad. If he continues these performances, maybe Maury Bamba sticks around. We'll see. So TBD, folks. TBD. We'll keep an eye out for that. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here on the program. Appreciate you guys out there in the audience. It's Johnny Boy time. Hey, when the hell is that Snowball Italian package getting delivered back here to the States, Johnny?
Yeah, I think he comes back tomorrow, man.
Oh, okay, there you go. Safe travels to old Snowball, a.k.a. Rich.
Yeah, man. He's been having a good time out there, man. So
good, he should.
So
I'm loving all the jet chants like in random places. Like he's on this beautiful water. Like it's on your guys' YouTube shorts. I'm seeing all these where he's just like he's in a Jets hat in Italy, and I'm like, wow, look at that. Jets worldwide. I mean, you guys have to be men of your word. That's what the channel's called. So you guys are very worldwide, it appears. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, so wanted to ask you, A.D. Mitchell, right?
Yeah. Adnan.
You're seeing him everywhere. I feel like. I mean, he's doing so much press for the New York Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're gonna put a C on him?
Nah, dude. Whoa.
I'm just asking.
Absolutely not. No.
It seems
I
like
think
either that or he's doing it to try to get more, years with the New York Jets and get extended pretty quickly. Because I feel
maybe.
At all.
I mean, he. I can't remember. Maybe it was a Super Bowl. Like Jake interviewed him, and I'm like, damn, he just doesn't say a lot. Like I agree with you. They've been putting him in front of the mic a lot, but like he doesn't normally say a lot. He like even on like a question, like he was asked. I remember this the other day, like 2 weeks ago, maybe, and he was asked, "Hey, what's your favorite part of the offense?" He went, "Oh yeah, this offense, man. Let me tell you." I love it all, man. And I just went, all right. That was just weird. Like, just pick one thing. Wow, there's an overwhelming amount of things. Like I don't know. He just doesn't like to engage, which is fine. Not everyone has to be some talkative person or something. But no, if he got a C, I would fall out of my chair if he got a C on the chest. Like I think Garrett Wilson's going to have that C on the chest. If we're doing this, Gino's going to have the C. Garrett Wilson's going to have the C. Let me think. Go. The Jamario obviously is going to have the C. Mink is going to have the C. Who else am I missing? Yeah, those are probably, they do it weird. Some years they have offense, defense, special teams. Watch with Boy Green. Jets, Jet. No, sometimes they have one representative of each. And if they did, it would be Gino, Demario, and I don't even know who the special teams guy would be, but whoever. But so some years they do it 4 or 5. Sometimes it's 3. Sometimes it's this. But yeah, off the top of my head, I think it'd be Garrett Wilson, it'd be Geno Smith, it'd be Demario Davis, and it would be whoever the hell I just said before. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Adonai, like in his first full offseason as a Jet, he must be given it. That must be it. I'm saying, as a public speaker, I'm not really getting it. Then he must be saving these speeches for the locker room because, he must be unbelievable.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because again, I just saw him with another interview with the Jets, and then he was interviewed by Pivot, in which I thought the Pivot interview with him was a lot more telling, and he opened up a lot more. Maybe
I didn't watch it. Okay,
maybe because he felt more comfortable. But you're right. They asked him a question about Geno Smith.
Okay,
And bro, that dude was on some oh yeah, man, he has a monster of a arm. That was it.
Oh,
and I was like, what? I was like, dude, they asked you what do you like so much about Geno Smith and his play?
yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's people are sort of debating what is it in the chat. Could he just be a poor public speaker? Is it he just doesn't want to give up information? So even though what do you like about Geno Smith? Nothing he says is going to be he just let out the Krabby Patty formula. That's out of the house. I don't know. But again, some people just aren't as comfortable. I guess I'm not sure. But the good news is that he does not get paid for his talking. Gets paid for his catching and running and separation. And those things all look pretty good. No, Barbara, I'd say Will McDonald to see that would surprise me. He seems and again, I'm judging some of these people without truly knowing them, but he seems more, what's the word I'm looking for? Introverted. He is a unique personality. He had the colored braids. He jumps over cars. He does crazy ass stuff. But besides all that, very, in theory, extroverted stuff, he doesn't seem to be that guy. And again, you don't have to be for instance, a good example is Minka. He doesn't do a lot of talking, but when he does talk, people listen. DeMario does a ton of talking, so it just sort of depends. It's a case by case basis, but no, I'd be surprised with Will potentially.
Do you believe in the whole that a rookie could become a captain?
I don't. I mean, well, here's the unique example, of course, is you draft a rookie quarterback and he's set to start. If I can't remember who it was. Was it Zach? I can't remember. We had a recent rookie quarterback, I believe, got the C, but yeah. So I think it really. I mean, you'd have to even a defender like David Bailey, because obviously I didn't say him. Yeah, I don't think so. Quarterback is a unique example, but besides that, nah, I don't think so.
No. Yeah. So, all right. I mean, again, dude, I wanted my last question that I did want to ask you was,
yes, sir.
This practice coming up now. What is it that you're looking for? Is it? Are you looking at Geno to see if he's really injured and that was all bullshit?
I just want to see him let me start with the bare basic level. When practice starts, or apparently it's already started. So, I mean, I guess I could do a quick look on Twitter. We could find this out together. All I want to see is that Geno's on the field. So let me see. Let me just quickly go to Rich or something, because Rich would have it. So let me just see. Nope, he doesn't have it. All right, let me see. Who else would be at practice? Zach Rosenblatt, maybe? And let me see. Does Zach have it? He does not. All right, so I thought we would have some updates. So I guess not. Maybe practice starting later today. I'll have to double check. I guess I thought practice would have already started, but no. The first thing I want to say, Jets practice, which is back today for Steelers week. I just want to see Geno on the field at all, because I am trusting what Aaron Glenn says and what the reporting was. Mike Garafolo came out and said, he's out for this game. But if it would have been regular season, totally would have played. Not serious, nothing to worry about. And I want to believe that, and I'm going to choose to believe that. But if Geno does not walk on that practice field today, I'm going to be like, Aaron, what the hell, man? You told me it wasn't serious. And now, so not only did he not play in the game, fine, so be it. You want to play it risk-free, great. No one cares about the score of that game. The real thing that matters is the regular season. But if he's out at practice today, the sirens are going off, because he is going to be missing these critical reps with the team that he needs to get to be ready for week 1 when we're all together, Johnny boy. So that, and in particular, this preseason game especially, maybe his last shot, because starters don't normally play in the final preseason game. So that means this is his last chance to get game reps with his guys. If he's not out at practice today, that's where alarm bells going off for me. We're like, whoa, what happened? What changed? And then I don't want AG coming up to the podium. Small setback here, but yeah, that's concerning. So for me, just him being on the field. And then, yes, to the next level, he's on the field. Oh, thank God. Next level, is he gingerly walking around? What is this? It was initially reported as foot soreness. Then Aaron Glenn says it's ankle soreness. And then he was specifically asked, is this a sprain he's dealing with? He said, no, just sore. So, okay, let's see. Is the proof in the pudding? Yeah.
Yeah. So when I heard that, I'm like, yo, is this like an old man injury type of thing?
Yeah, right. Exactly, right.
Like, dude just woke up and he was like, shit, my back's cracking and knees popping. And, and is that going to be something that's going to affect, or is it that he was just that bad at practice against the Bucks, and they were like, damn, we don't want to really, expose Geno to get more scrutiny through the media and all, and be like, yo, that dude's not, because I honestly, dude, I know that Klubnik played somewhat well for the small amount of a sample size that we got.
Johnny boy, 1 second. Please promote Jets Worldwide. I'll be right back. Hold down the.
Hey, what up, everybody? Johnny boy in the building. Jets Worldwide, come through every single Friday, 7:30 p.m. We are back. We took off last week. I unfortunately had a situation that I couldn't have been on, and my guy Snowball is up in Italy, but we are back. We are going to have special guests this upcoming Friday. We're going to talk about Steelers game. We're going to talk a little bit about, how they became a fan and kind of go from there. So cannot wait. Jets Worldwide, all one word. Come over,
Yes,
come check it out. And we'll be back with our guy BG on Sunday. So can't wait for that, man. It was weird not being able to be on because I got used to it. So.
Of course. But, well, let me just say, and I think we've all been thinking this, Johnny, but I didn't want to keep pressing it on you. But obviously our thoughts are with you, man. I mean, and your family,
that.
So, yeah, we're just thinking of you. I just wanted to make sure that we said that again, of course.
Well, real cool thing, I got some cowboy boots. Like,
all right.
Legit, like, I think it's like ostrich leather that I got. Yeah.
Okay.
Cannot wait, bro. I'm so pumped for Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty dope. So, are you rocking any kind of cowboy boots, man? Or I mean, because we gotta go all out, dude. The outfit gotta be on point.
That's true. I never have to be. I don't own a pair, but if it was gonna happen, I imagine last year Jets Cowboys, when that happened, I had I still work with them a little bit. Oh my God, the name's escaping me out. Foco. So Foco is a partner. They're sort of not like a consistent partner here on the show. We do stuff together sometimes. And they said, hey, Paul, do you want to partner on stuff? Like, so some of the stuff you're seeing disappear for the background. I had like an Olu Fashion New bobblehead back here. We've done a few of these giveaways and all kinds of things. And they said, hey, like for being such a great partner, pick something from the shop. It's yours. And they said, actually pick two things. It's yours. I went, oh my God, cool. I'm looking through and there's all normal stuff, t-shirts, hats, whatever. I'm like, whoa, a Jets Cowboy hat. I'm like, yeah, I'll take two. One for me, one for my fiance. They're like, really? All right. And then yeehaw for Jets Cowboys. I had it. But that would have been the perfect time. Slap on some cowboy boots, do the whole look, jeans, boots, belt buckle, nice little bolo perhaps. And just like, here we go, baby. Here I come trucking through.
You gonna do some line dancing?
I've never done that before. Or square dancing, or if that's the same thing, I'm unclear. But yeah.
My understanding is I heard Lou, our guy Lou, is gonna be doing his thing in line dancing, showing us the ropes.
Oh, okay, sure, all right, that's all right. Yeah, I don't know if it'll be this year. Yeah, Max going cowboy boots to the game. Yeah, I mean that may be uncomfortable. I've never worn a cowboy boots, so I don't want to judge, but yeah, possibly, I guess, but I'm not sure that's going to be the vibe for week 5 in October, but I'm open to it in the future.
Oh, yeah. Hey, man. Well, BG, had to come up here real quick, show
Appreciate
some love. Yeah. Definitely looking forward to this. They're not doing the joint practices, though, right?
No, week? They're all done. So the only ones that were on the schedule was this past week with the Bucks, which was awesome. That was cool. That was a lot of fun, but no, they didn't do it. I hope they do more. I think they're super competitive. They're fun for fans. I'm sure they're really good for the teams too. But But yeah, no more joint practices for the rest of the offseason. Offseason's over as it pertains to joint practices. Those are all gone. Yep.
100%. I just again, I would have loved to maybe have gone against, Aaron Rodgers again, because especially what he said in that comment talking about, the Jets made him hate football.
Oh, that was there's a few things he said that I'm just like and yeah, he's talking about like he was just doing something, I think it was with CBS Sports, and they were talking about his love of the game or something, and his decisions like to come back this year for the Steelers, and he talked about his decision to go to the Jets and went, well, that one was rough. Like, I guess I shouldn't have done that. Like, it just like, I don't know. To me, I don't try to have hindsight decisions. Like, I try to live life with no regrets. I make a choice, for better or for worse, that's a choice. And like, it is what it is. Like, I can't go back in time and change things. So like, for him, he picked the Jets. And I don't think he said, geez, that sucked. Yeah, sure. The results sucked, but I don't think the choice sucked either from the Jets side either. I don't regret the Jets going after Aaron Rodgers. I don't. Now, there was a bunch of blank that happened after, but no, I don't blame the decision to choose it. The Achilles exploded. That's unfortunate. I wish it didn't happen, but it did. And so I don't have regret for that because of that. You can't prognosticate an injury. It either happens or it doesn't. So, yeah.
Yeah, dude, every time I do says some shit about the Jets, it's like, bro, the Jets gave you everything you wanted.
100%.
Everything you wanted. But BG, appreciate you, man. Keep killing it, dude.
Thanks,
and
brother.
hey, shout out to everybody, man. Coffee Club and the whole nine. And hey, I like the idea that Chef Kev should be rocking that Brady Cook jersey, because my understanding is that is his brand new favorite New York Jet player there. Because
yes.
Peace.
By the way, real quick, just me texting him a picture of Brady Cook, and he went, "What the fuck?" Yeah, that was my. I posted on Twitter because I met a bunch of players at one or both of the practices. I had a picture of Brady Cook, and I posted it and tagged Chef, and he did not appreciate that, Johnny boy. He did not appreciate that at all.
Hey,
we'll work on that.
Chef it up, baby. Let him cook. Let him cook. He was cooking that game.
He was. Let Brady cook. Thanks, brother. There you go. Johnny boy here on the program. All right, everybody. I want to give a shout out to everyone that gifted so far on the show. Jake Asman, NC Green, Austrian Jets fan, Kevin Swicker twice, and Izzy Jet, baby, here on the program. We have 200 people in the room, including over 100 here on YouTube. Guys, like the video. That is a free way to contribute here on the program. I do want to get back into the poll real quick. We put a poll up. If the Jets trade for a quarterback this offseason, which one would you prefer of this group? And here are your choices. Which is a quarterback should the Jets trade for? J.J. McCarthy, Mason Rudolph, Tanner McKee, Andy Dalton. We have about 100 votes. By the way, only 64 likes, so let's bump up those likes, people. But Andy Dalton, quote-unquote, has won the poll here. 41% of the votes were for him. J.J. McCarthy, second place of Andy Dalton, first place, 41%. J.J. McCarthy, second place, 25%. Tanner McKee, third place, 21%. Mason Rudolph, 13% is the final poll. There you have it. Excellent. So some good conversation, people. Good conversation. And let us know in the comments section if you're in it on the J.J. McCarthy stuff. We have more details in the article in the YouTube description down below. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, live every morning at 7 a.m. Eastern time. Hope you can become a part of the family here on the show. Let me take one more peek at something. I just want to see if we crossed another threshold here subscriber-wise. Let's take a quick gander. Loading. We're getting close. We're getting close. We are 32 people away from 8,800 subscribers, which is awesome. So terrific. Excuse me. Again, we're going to be back live at 3 o'clock. I'll be covering the Aaron Glenn presser coming up in a little bit and more articles to come. And like I said, we'll have a 3 o'clock show with all the latest from Jets training camp. Hopefully you guys can stay tuned for that. Appreciate you out in the audience. As Pop says in the chat, take that like button to Pound Town. All right, everybody. We will see you in a couple hours. Take care.